Yehova Svaot Elohim, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me, and cover me and stir me, and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehova, pay careful attention and respond. Yehova is our power and authority. Yehova works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehova with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. 1 Kings chapter 22. For 3 years there was no war between Aram and Israel. Then, in the 3rd year, Jehoshaphat the king of Yehuda came down to the king of Israel. The king of Israel said to his servants, "Are you aware that remote Gilead belongs to us, yet we're doing nothing to recover it from the king of Aram?" He said to Jehoshaphat, "Will you go with me to attack remote Gilead?" Jehoshaphat answered the king of Israel, "I am with you all the way. Think of my troops and horses as yours." But Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, "First we should seek the word of Yehova." So the king of Israel assembled the prophets, about 400 men. "Should I attack remote Gilead?" he asked them, "or should I hold off?" They said, "Attack. Yehova will hand it over to the king." But Jehoshaphat said, "Besides these, isn't there a prophet of Yehova here that we can consult?" The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Yes, there is still one man, though whom we can consult Yehova, Mikayahu, the son of Yimla, but I hate him, because he doesn't prophesy good things for me, but bad." Jehoshaphat replied, "The king shouldn't say such a thing." Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, "Quickly, bring Mikayahu, the son of Yimla." Now the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehuda, were each sitting on his throne, dressed in their royal robes, on a threshing floor at the entrance of the gate of Shamron. And all the prophets were there, prophesying in their presence. Zedekiah, the son of Kenana, had made himself some horns out of iron and said, "This is what Yehova says. With these you will gore Aram until they are destroyed." All the prophets prophesied the same thing. "Go up and attack remote Gilead. You will succeed, for Yehova will hand it over to the king." The messenger who had gone to call Mikayahu said to him, "Here, now, the prophets are unanimously predicting success for the king. Please let your word be like the word of one of them. Say something good." But Mikayahu answered, "As Yehova lives, whatever Yehova says to me is what I will say." When he reached the king asked him, "Mikayahu, should we go up and attack remote Gilead, or should we hold off?" He answered, "Go up, you will succeed. Yehova will hand it over to the king." The king said to him, "How many times do I have to warn you to tell me nothing but the truth in the name of Yehova?" Then he said, "I saw all Israel scattered over the hills like sheep without a shepherd. And Yehova said, 'These men have no leader. Let everyone go home in peace.'" The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Didn't I tell you that he wouldn't prophesy good things about me, but bad?" Mikayahu continued, "Therefore hear the word of Yehova. I saw Yehova sitting on his throne with the whole army of heaven standing by him, on his right and on his left. Yehova asked, 'Who will entice Achav to go up to his death at remote Gilead?' One of them said, 'Do it this way,' and another, 'Do it that way.' Then a spirit stepped in, stood in front of Yehova, and said, 'I will entice him.' Yehova asked, 'How?' And he answered, 'I will go and be a deceiving spirit in the mouths of his prophets.' Yehova said, You will succeed in enticing him. Go and do it. So now Yehova has put a deceiving spirit in the mouths of all these prophets of yours. Meanwhile, Yehova has ordained disaster for you." Then Zedekiah, the son of Kenana, came up, slapped Micaiah in the face, and said, "How did the spirit of Yehova leave me to speak to you?" Micaiah said, "You'll find out the day you go into the inside room trying to hide." The king of Israel said, "Seize Micaiah and take him back to Amon, the governor of the city of Joash, the king's son. Say, the king says to put this man in prison and feed him only bread and water, and not much of that, until I return in peace." Micaiah said, "If you return in peace at all, Yehova has not spoken through me." Then he added, "Did you hear me, you peoples, all of you?" So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehuda, went up to Ramoth Gilead. The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "I will disguise myself and go into battle, but you put on your robes." So the king of Israel disguised himself and went into battle. Now the king of Aram had ordered the 32 chariot commanders, "Don't attack anyone of either high rank or low rank, only the king of Israel." So when the chariot commanders saw Jehoshaphat, they said, "This must be the king of Israel," and turned to attack him. But Jehoshaphat gave a yell, so that the chariot commanders saw that he wasn't the king of Israel and stopped pursuing him. However, one soldier shot an arrow at random and struck the king of Israel between his lower armor and his breastplate. So the king said to his chariot driver, "Turn the reins. Take me out of the fighting. I'm collapsing from my wounds." But the fighting grew fiercer that day, and they propped the king upright in his chariot facing Aram until he died in the evening, with the blood streaming from his wound onto the floor of the chariot. Around sundown, a cry spread through the ranks, "Every man to his own town, every man to his own land." So the king died and was brought to Shamron, and they buried the king in Shamron. They washed the chariot at the pool of Shamron, where the prostitutes bathed. The dogs licked up his blood, in keeping with the word of Yehova had spoken. Other activities of Achab reigns, all his accomplishments, the ivory palace he built, and all the cities he built are recorded in the annals of the kings of Israel. So Achab slept with his ancestors, and Achaziah, his son, became king in his place. Jehoshaphat, the son of Asa, began his reign over Yehuda in the 4th year of Achab, king of Israel. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to rule, and he ruled 25 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Yehuvah, the daughter of Shilki. He lived in the manner of Asa's father and did not turn away from it, doing what was right from Jehovah's perspective. Although the high places were not taken away, the people still sacrificed and presented offerings on the high places. Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Other activities Jehoshaphat, all his power that he demonstrated and how he made war are recorded in the annals of the kings of Yehuda. He rid the land of the male and female cult prostitutes remaining from the time of his father Asa. There had previously been no king of Edom, but now a deputy was made king. Jehoshaphat built some large Tarshish ships to go over Ophrah for gold, but they didn't make the voyage because they were wrecked at Etzion Geber. Achaziah, the son of Achab, suggested to Jehoshaphat that his men should go to sea with Jehoshaphat's men, but Jehoshaphat would not agree. So Jehoshaphat slept with his ancestors and was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, his ancestor. And Joram, his son, became king in his place. Achaziah, the son of Achab, began his reign over Israel in Shamron in the 17th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Yehuda. And he ruled 2 years over Israel. He did what was evil from Jehovah's perspective, living in the manner of his father, his mother, Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, by which he led Israel into sin. He also served Baal and worshipped him, and he made Yehova, the God of Israel, angry, in keeping with everything his father had done. How can we learn to love our Creator through reading this last 22nd chapter of 1 Kings, we can aim for peace with those around you. Seek the word of Yehova. Act on the word of Yehova. Trust that obedience to the word of Yehova will bring success. Proclaim only what the word of Yehova says. Proclaim the truth in the name of Yehova. Aim for unity with those around you. Aim to hear the word of Yehova. Trust that an army is standing to the right and left of Yehova. Trust that Yehova ordains. Seek to be led by the Ruach of Yehova. Trust in the word of Yehova that is spoken. Aim to do what is right from the perspective of Yehova. Aim to be a living sacrifice to Yehova by way of obedience to his written word. Aim to make peace everywhere you go. Aim to lead others into obedience to Yah. Aim to serve Yehova, the Elohim of Israel, alone. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can speak peace and unity everywhere you go, in everything you do and say. Bear one another's burdens. We can aim to lead others into obedience to Yehova. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. End with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehova will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehova will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehova will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.